What's going on, internet? How's it going? I'm Dan Howles. That's Dan Loder. This is the TwoDee Show, where it's 3 times a week, every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday.
AKA Dover.
We bring you a topic of conversation.
AKA Slowdy.
You can get your topics on the show by tweeting us topics at 2dshow.com and emailing us at
2D Show. Those are definitely not
the wrong way around.
Right way around.
You throw me off.
You
Tweet us.
You can twat us on at 2D Show, and you can email us on topics at 2dshow.com.
And every Friday we get topics from you guys, which is where we source those topics from. You also get us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/2D Show.
The other thing we're going to plug, and we're only going to plug this once, is Frisky Friday.
Oh my god.
Which this is the first week of Frisky Friday. It's out now.
No, it'll be out next week.
They're
going out next week.
So there won't be a Frisky Friday at this point.
After.
Oh shit.
I think.
Well, you guys are in for a treat because every Friday, this will be the first week of Frisky Friday.
You are right.
This is the first week of Frisky Friday. Frisky Friday is a horrible name for a horrible thing. We, in our wisdom, decided that we would read some Harry Potter fan fiction to you. Some very bad Harry Potter fan fiction.
Basically, crushing
I
all
still
your
feel dirty.
childhood sort of.
Yeah, I've
Naivety.
washed my hands with toilet bleach, and I still feel dirty.
What about the rest of you? I haven't been washed for days.
We'll get some.
Right. So today's topic is brought by a guy called Michael O'Toole. And he has it on Facebook, which is facebook.com/2D Show. He just messaged us and said, what's the differences between generations? Basically, what's the differences between this generation and sort of our generation?
And the generations that have been before. So, we're going to chew that out. We're going to discuss that. I think one of the main differences is, obviously, we have grown up with a lot of technology, which is evident by the fact that Dover is playing on his fucking phone.
Right. So, a generation is about 25 years.
Okay.
I just wanted to have a clear idea of what a generation was. A generation is every 25 years. So, we are basically on the cusp now. So
Of another one.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're going to be awful.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually quite interesting because one of the things that is actually the same for all generations is they think they are the best generation.
Yeah. Every generation thinks they're the one to change the world. That the generation before them fucking sucked and the rules are archaic and
the generation after them is much too liberal.
Yeah.
And
100%.
our rules are the best rules and their rules are too far
I
in
do
the other
think
direction.
that the older generation did have some
The world was a
problems.
different place, wasn't it? I mean, there were obviously things that we are lucky enough to not have experienced, like wars and things like that shaped the development.
No, we had world wars and stuff.
The world wars and stuff. We had
making ball bearings for fucking tanks
mass
and guns.
conscription and rations and stuff. We are lucky enough to not have experienced that.
The Blitz.
Touch
and all
wood,
that
I
sort of
hope
stuff.
we never have to. So there's things like that shaped the generations before us. We have a lot of brand culture now, which I think is something that is maybe not so much limited to our generation, but it's definitely something that's prevailed in our generation. Like older generations, like example, my nan, you would go to your local shop. You would buy locally sourced stuff. If you bought clothes, you buy them from your local clothes shop. If those clothes broke, you would repair them yourself, or you would take them to a tailor or something.
There was a lot more
or a shoe fixer, and you'd
a
fix
cobbler.
things.
When the fuck was the last time you went to a cobbler? I've never cobbled shoes.
I've never seen a. Do Timpsons fix shoes?
I don't even know what the fuck Timpsons is.
It's in town.
I know.
They make keys.
That's what I know shoe shops for.
Yeah.
Is where you get a key cut.
Yeah.
Fucking who's having the bottom of their soles
and
replaced?
I think we have such a disposable culture. Again, it comes back to. They've had to live through wars and stuff where everything you could save was a saving, whereas
you
were
self-sufficient in a way. You grew your own vegetables and shit.
Grew your own veg, fixed your own clothes.
People still do. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
People do, but I don't know if kids doing it.
No, like I said, we are very much more a consumer generation than ever before. I think if say this t-shirt that I'm wearing broke, I would probably put the t-shirt in the bin and buy a new t-shirt.
100%.
I wouldn't go out of my way to sew it, or I wouldn't take it to be repaired or something like that. That's just not the way we work.
No.
But on the flip side of that, even though we have got this disposable culture, I think we, in a way, take less risks than generations before us as well.
You think we take less risks?
I think, like, buying stuff, we do a lot more research. We don't try things out ourselves. I don't know if this is something that older generations did, but like I would imagine, like, you buy something, decide it was rubbish, and you'd have decided it was based on your use of it. Whereas I would go and like read reviews of things.
But like, I think we are the generation. Sorry to cut you off there, but like, I think we are the generation that takes more risks. We are the generation that is like, you don't have to go to uni, you don't have to go to college. We are the generation of startups and .coms and people making business failing.
Like from that point of view, yeah,
we are the generation that start, or at least like we're just off the generation, because me and you weren't making .coms in the fucking 90s or whatever, but like we are part of that sort of economic boom that helped so much. Like,
well, the world became a smaller place with the internet, didn't it?
Well, yeah, like
if something happens in America, I can find out about it in seconds on the internet.
I'm more American than I am British because of it. I consume American
cultures
TV.
of like across the like of mixed together.
It's a Venn
a lot
diagram.
More.
Everything sort of bled together.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. So you went a completely different fucking route that I was going to go.
Well, I think,
and we can loop back round to it.
We like I said, I think we're like purchases and stuff. Like, whereas before it'd be like word of mouth. You'd be like, oh, this is good. Like, try that and stuff. Whereas now I would take the word of the internet over like my next door neighbor.
Yeah, you go for a conglomerate, like
changed.
look at things like Metacritic and stuff. They're just 150 anonymous people being like good or bad.
And on the subject of startups and stuff, whereas before, like, you know, your local shop owner, you'd know them, you go and like buy their stuff, you'd buy stuff from local businesses, you wouldn't really care about the branding or anything. Mm-hmm. Businesses nowadays, like even like the smallest businesses, need to make themselves look like big companies for people to trust them.
Hello. Look at us.
Yeah, like
we're in a fucking spare bedroom, but like we've got, like we you have to be like
you have to
Twitter,
look the part,
Facebook, blah 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 blah. Here's my business
and, like,
card.
Before we decided to put any of this out there, I think probably like almost before we started making episodes and stuff, we started designing logos and branding.
Oh, you did,
ourselves.
yeah. You had to. I asked you.
We essentially
you're better at like
ourselves.
graphics and shit. So I was like, right, we need a logo. We need this. We need this. I mean, our website isn't anything. It's just a 2D coming soon. But it's there for if and when we expand.
Because it's expected that people will click on it.
Yeah,
like even if it's clicked on it, there's nothing on. Even if we never put anything on there, we need to have it.
Yeah, you need.
Otherwise, you're not really like credible.
No,
which is sad in a way.
Like that's what verified is on Twitter. Like it doesn't mean anything. It's not it's just a status symbol of like I am real. I am here, and like. I will never become verified on Twitter. Doesn't mean I'm not any less real than fucking George Clooney.
The other thing I meant by we take less risks is I was going to talk about crowdfunding and stuff as well. Because like beforehand, the classic way to start a business is you come up with your idea, you pitch it to some investors, you'd have to get the money from somewhere to start up. You'd have to make yourself seem credible in that sense. To people that were going to invest in you before you could start selling it, and it might be that you would invest in it, make it be a complete flop, and lose money. But with things like Kickstarter, you can come up with your product, pitch it directly to the people you're going to sell it to, and if they don't want to buy it, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like people pay for it in advance, and then you go to make it.
But that's consumerism.
Yeah, but it's kind of a different like model of it.
Oh, there's no investment capital. You're taking money off people, you're putting it straight into the product, and if it doesn't work, fuck them. You've already got the money. There's no social contract. There's no business contract to Kickstarter.
And like, if those are the only ones you ever sell,
what does it matter?
Yeah, because
you've made your money.
You've done it. But it's like the other way around as well. And like, I mean, if it didn't make its funding target on Kickstarter, you don't get anything. You haven't really lost anything. You haven't gone to make those. Like, say you sold like 1,000 backpacks on Kickstarter. Say 1,000 people signed up and that didn't meet your goal. You haven't like, you're not stuck with 1,000 backpacks to sell because you haven't made them yet.
Yeah.
So that is quite interesting.
So you're looking backwards. To the old generation. What about the new generation? What about?
They're going to be.
Do you count?
They're going to be absolutely awful.
We're 90s kids, right?
Yes.
Only 90s kids.
Born and bred. We're only 90s kids. Only 90s kids are relevant.
But I was 8 in 2000. Like I remember Millennials more than I do the 90s. like Britney Spears, Spice Girls, that sort of stuff, NSYNC and everything, that happened. Like, I know about it. I remember going to school. I remember watching Power Rangers and all that sort of stuff. But my memories really come from the 2000s. So, like, we're not millennials, though, right? Like, millennials are people born in the 2000s.
I don't know, there's lots of different definitions, because I saw the word millennial, like, describing people between the age of 25 and 32 or something, and I was like, what?
Like, I don't get... Are people born now millennials?
I don't know, they're just... I think the other thing that we have, like, which is personal to our generation, is we grew up with technology.
Well, this is what
changing,
I was leaning
or at least
to.
consumer technology.
I think specifically the 24... Below the age of 20... Say 30. 28, 30-ish. And higher than sort of 20. Between those 10 years, you grew up. We appreciate technology more than young people do.
And I think we are described as the digitally native generation, because like we
Good.
grew up from, like, you know, the phone
Nokia
that didn't even have a
3310.
screen to the 3310 to, like, you know, the like pre-smartphones like your Sony Ericssons and stuff like that to the smartphones. We have adapted to all of those technologies, and we're like, you know, just we're gonna find it easier to adapt to future technology.
The way it makes sense to me is, like, we're the generation back on video games that grew up having to go from D-pad to analog sticks. We're the generation that grew up from non-predictive text to predictive text. We had to adapt to that. Now, I know it sounds stupid, but like that, I can't go back to I can't say it.
Pre-predictive text.
Thank you. It's fucking crazy. Go back to an old phone where it was like ABC is 2, DEF is 3. Like, you have to really think instead of just tapping. I remember when the first BlackBerry came out, however, with a full QWERTY keyboard, I was like, that's fucking stupid. My hands are too big for that. I'm never going to use it. And now I have a phone probably the same width as a BlackBerry that, like, has a completely touch. Like, I prefer buttons, but I use the ease and convenience of touchscreen. Like, we grew up being like, oh my god, like, I remember when tablets came out and I was like, what the fuck needs a tablet?
I can remember it as well.
Like, and now I use
needing
my iPad more than my laptop. But, like, I appreciate why I use it. It hasn't always been there. In fact, we earned having shit tech. We earned
this.
We earned the new technology by using and being accustomed to the old technology. I remember when it took me ages to get on WhatsApp, because why do I need WhatsApp? I'm on Facebook Messenger.
I literally downloaded WhatsApp because I think someone in work who was I think they're the same age as me, but someone in work said that they were like trying to arrange a night out, and it was a WhatsApp group that they were using, and they said, "Oh, I'll put you in the WhatsApp group." I was like, "I don't have it," and they're like, "Why don't you have WhatsApp? What do you text?" And I was like, "Facebook."
Yeah. Or text.
Yeah, I was like, Facebook Messenger does the exact same thing. Why have you? Why when I already have Facebook?
Yeah. We already have.
Why am I going to go and do? It's because WhatsApp essentially does the exact same thing as Facebook Messenger.
Fucking instant message. It's the same thing as MSN, dude.
Yeah,
like, it's just an instant messenger. But we can appreciate group chats and stuff. FaceTime, right? Let's start with FaceTime. Every kid I see now uses FaceTime more than a phone call. FaceTime to me is very foreign. I've never really used it.
The only person I really FaceTime is Jenny, but that's only every now and then.
I've only ever FaceTime Sarah like once or twice, and it's when I was in a hotel for work. I had to go down to Romsey, and she FaceTimed me, or something like that.
For me, if like my primary communication like over the internet is by texting people. The only time I ring people is if I need an immediate response normally.
Yeah. I think we talked about this, staying in touch with people. I don't ring people.
No.
You only ring me if it's like an emergency, if someone's dead or whatever, or my dad or the old generation.
Ring people.
I'm not very good at small talk. That's just me.
If I'm ringing someone, it's because I need.
There's a purpose.
It's like, are we going to do this? Right. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. What time am I picking you up? What time am I meeting you? Blah,
but
blah,
I wouldn't
blah.
ring someone and be like, oh, so what are you doing? Like,
yeah, I don't. I remember being 13, 14, 15, being on the phone, having those 2-hour conversations, predominantly with girls. But like, yeah. But the idea of live streaming on Facebook does not make sense to me.
I don't.
Because there's no production in it. Like, I could understand, like, say if we were to do a live stream, it would be for some reason. Maybe it's a new show. Maybe we do like a live version of this, but it would be
we're
curated.
at something that is like time critical.
It would be curated. It would be sort of a production, I'd like to think. I don't think that we would hit live on this and then watch me edit an episode. But like, I see people all the time who we went to school with, like the younger years when we did like shows and stuff, who had me on Facebook, like live streaming and stuff. I'm like, you're not doing it. You're on a fucking train eating an apple. Like, what the fuck are you live streaming?
We could live
fucking kids.
Maybe we should try it. Maybe we should see if there's any benefit to it. Episode 30.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
27, 28, and 29. Because we'll film those together.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Well, they will be filmed together, though.
They will. Let's talk about that off here.
This is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 7, 28, 29, 30.
Let's do it for, if we get to 100, we'll live stream it.
So 28, 29, but we won't, but 100 will be an odd, weird one, because it'll be, because we film them in
Then
threes.
let's just make 100 its own standout, or 50 its own standout episode. An hour and a half, episode 50.
I don't think episode 30 would be good.
That's too close.
I don't think
right,
it is.
but we're going off topic here. Fucking shocker. Take back to video games. Like I grew up on a Master System, and I got a PlayStation 1, and now I've got a PlayStation fucking 4, and now we've got the Wii U that can do like fucking motion controls and stuff, and like VR is a fucking thing. Oculus is out. PSVR comes out in like 3 weeks. Like, you are actually gonna have it very soon. We grew up, we inherited this shit from the last generation, if you will, then. Like, there were 80s movies about VR, and now it's happening. Like, I get you could do the whole, like, life imitates art sort of thing. Like, we created it because someone else thought of it. But it's fucking, I think we are the most, what did you say, technology literate or native?
Digitally native.
Why is a 4-year-old that grows up with an iPad Pro now not native to it?
Because we grew up watching that technology grow. So we will find it easier to adapt to new technology because we've done it our whole lives. So the next thing, let's say it is VR, say the next big thing. So we should theoretically find it easier to adapt to it than kids these days.
That's interesting.
Because they've grown up with tablets, they've grown up with laptops
on their hands,
and like phones, like it's scary to think that like most people's first phone will be a smartphone these days because you don't want the old phone. It will be a smartphone.
Yeah, it will. It's not probably. It is a smartphone. There's no other phones.
When like that technology changes next, like for us, it'll just be another increment. We'll be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But like for them, it could be like potentially world rocking because like they haven't had that transition before.
I think you see that in society as well. And maybe like I am getting old. I realize I'm getting old. There's a topic I want to do at one point.
I think the cement is starting to dry, isn't it? I'm starting to get set in my ways.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm stubborn. Yeah. I get that. There's a topic I want to do, which actually we could do. Sorry, my phone's going off. We could do next sort of week.
Next week, yeah.
I'm very much becoming my dad and my parents. Like I know I am.
I know
like,
what you mean.
I see it happening,
and I think that it's interesting that even though like things have so much has changed between the generations, there are things that stay the same. Like I find myself saying stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I can remember my mum saying that to me, and I can remember when she said it. And I can remember thinking, I'm never going to say that to anyone. That's awful. But I find myself saying and thinking things. Like when I see kids like playing up, I'm just like, oh, I just know in my head I'm thinking the exact same thing my mum was thinking.
Yeah.
When I used to play up.
Exactly. Like it's 9 o'clock. You're 10 years old. You should probably come in. But when you're 10 years old, being like, it's only 9 o'clock. Why should I come in? Like that sort of stuff.
And yeah, and you just think,
it's mad how perspective can change
your own good, you little shit. Now get in the house.
Exactly. I'm doing like just listen to me. Why won't you listen to me?
Yeah.
Like if I was a kid, and I'm still the same now. I don't like people who assume authority because of authority's sake. Like, not going into too many stories, but like I've got in trouble with people at like work and stuff because I'm not like, fuck you, like, I'm not, like, I'm doing this, but, like, it rubs me the wrong way when people are like, because I said so. Stop whistling. Why? Because I said so. That's what my dad used to say all the time. Like, no, that's not a reason. Give me a reason, blah, blah, blah. And in a way, that's almost what the show's brought out of, and I think this generation, I don't understand Twitter.
Good God, no. We're only on Twitter because we need to be on Twitter.
I don't really understand Twitter.
Our Twitter's probably neglected. Like, we probably don't use it.
No,
do you post that we do episodes on Twitter?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Good job, Dove.
But what I'm getting at is, like, I've always preferred the long form. I think that's what this show is. This show is, here's a topic, and yeah, we go off on tangents, but we have a conversation about it. We delve a little bit deeper into it. I don't understand, and maybe I did it as a teenager, but I don't understand the short form of everything now. I don't understand how, like, a tweet is 140 characters. That's not enough to get an opinion over. Everyone always sounds cocky and stubborn in a tweet. You probably aren't, but, like, that... No one's going to read it.
You don't have enough characters to say, oh, I think this. You know, bear this in mind, I think this.
On the other hand...
You only have the I think this part.
Yeah. So,
it
like,
takes things out of context
articles aren't going to be a thing in the future. Like, people won't know how to write, like, with their hands in the future. Everything will be boiled down to 140 characters. You see on YouTube ads now, like, they're boiling down the ad to the 5-second part that you can't skip. Everything is becoming shorter. I guess because of attention spans, but, like, it's scary.
I think it's also part because things are so instant now. We're the generation that doesn't want to wait. I think that's something that's changing.
Us or the future? Sorry, the future generation.
I think we're probably on the cusp because it happens to us. I think because we've grown up with this technology, we still have that expectation. Beforehand, like, maybe you'd be watching TV, we'd have the radio on. Ad breaks were just a thing. You'd, like, have 5 minutes of adverts, and, like, I'm okay with that, like, because I grew up with that. Like, it doesn't bother me too much with adverts on TV. But when I've got the option to skip them, like YouTube videos and stuff like that, I skip them. Or the other thing that is really annoying me at the moment is when you go onto a website to read an article and you start reading, and then, like, a splash comes, and I just don't even close. I close the website.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like,
it's intrusive.
And it comes back to how
but
forgettable
they need to vie for your attention. That's why.
Yeah,
they need to be as big and obnoxious as possible to be like, look at me.
It also comes back to how forgettable the content underneath it is these days as well. Because I was like, you know what? I don't need that article. I don't need to read what I was going to read. I can do without it. I can close it. I don't care enough for us underneath.
If it's important, someone else tell me.
Yeah.
It's really crazy when you look at it, how the generation coming after us, or is already after us now, will sort of exist in a way that we deem not right. That sounds really fucking vague, but, like, we will say, like,
they will do things and we'll be like, oh, I can't believe you've done that.
Yeah, but, like, we are supposed to be the liberal, we're the people who have seen gay marriage become legalized in America.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to say that racism and sexism and stuff is not abolished, but we are the generation fighting, I believe, the good fight.
I think we're the ones that are the most okay with it.
We are, but, like, I hope that continues, but, like, how do I say this? Transsexuals, which is, I believe, the next sort of, like, social issue that the world is going to face. It's gender identity and stuff, right? And this is getting a bit deep, but this will circle back around. I hope, like, I can imagine that there being people today, older people, not in a hateful way, but that aren't educated enough so they don't understand, so you block it out, right? Right? You just be like, doesn't make any sense. Like, I believe most of our generation is like, you do you, like, crack on, like, whatever.
Again,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, I hope the generation before us or after us will continue, and that the next issue that comes up, we don't go, I'm not educated, I don't care.
We'll go
that is basically what all, this is a weird topic, but this is basically what all bigotry comes down to, is not education. I do believe that. Like, I don't believe people hate people for no reason. It is like, you're different and I'm not going to learn the difference.
Yeah.
So I hope the generation after us continues acceptance in a way, and I feel like it won't, because as we go down to this 140 character, like, minimalist sort of interpretation of everything, like, everyone's gonna stop learning. I like that we, specifically me and you, like, this sort of show, we can delve into topics. I believe we're the generation who does that. We're the generation who asks why, I think.
Yeah.
Like, at least in 2016, I don't know many sort of 14-year-olds. Like, I do believe that our generation will have, like, fucking awesome politicians and stuff. Like, I don't think that the generation in front of us will, but then I think that's like the old person in me being like, oh, the next generation's fucked.
It's the default.
Like,
yeah. It's like,
so that's where it's like
my way is best kind of thing.
Yeah, like, why do we need to change this?
But
then the old generation, like, if we never thought like that, then like there'd still be slaves and shit, because like this is going on a really social justice warrior rant, and I didn't mean to, but like,
no, I agree with you. I think like I think it comes back to like the internet making things smaller as well.
Yeah,
like there's nothing out there that shocks me really anymore, because I've seen it. I feel like the internet has shown me so many shocking things. Every time it's like, oh my god, look at this, look how shocking or amazing this is. I'm just kind of like, eh. It's kind of like that other thing I saw like yesterday while I was eating my breakfast.
We're going into a generation of clickbait. Is the problem? We're going like fucking 15 shocking things that are true.
In a way, it means like things that like you said, like transgender issues and stuff like that. The older generation would be like, oh shit.
But we will be the older generation.
I kind of feel like, because I think the world's a smaller place. I think you just get on with, do what you want to do. I don't care what anyone else wants to do.
I agree. And me and you have a very similar... I mean that in a positive
way. I don't mean like I don't care, like I don't want to know. I mean like I don't care what you like. No. I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You should be able to be happy doing what you're doing.
Everyone should be happy. And we briefly touched on this in the episode Colwell did or something, but like it doesn't... At the end of the day, like you're a person first, and then all the other stuff like think of it like a colouring book. Like you're an outline of a person, and then you fill everything in like different colours, right? Everyone's like a different shade of different stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Same outline, same picture, but like slightly different insides. I don't really think that like it matters too much. Like I don't need to look at like a person's sort of like, yeah, you're right. That's a really weird way of describing it, but like you do you and I'll do me, and like I'm happy for you doing you. Like you should be happy for me doing me. Like, and it's easy to say that as the straight white guy who's like the most fucking like the biggest demographic ever, but it's I hope this sort of trend of like
continues,
not giving a fuck, because that's what it is. Like it is easier to not have an issue than it is to have an issue, right? Not saying don't care. You are right. Like it's not an issue of like don't care, just like don't hate. Like
yeah, I think that's the best.
I remember having to teach my mum and dad what pride is. Obviously, we had it quite recently in Cardiff, and they kept saying gay pride, and I was like, it is, but it's not. Like it's just
pride in anything that's different, like
yourself. Like so, like I hope me and you and our generation never becomes that generation, whereas like you stop asking why.
Yeah,
or how,
I think, and I hope we don't get to the point of intolerance, which I hope we won't, because I don't know. I think it's part of like what you grow up with as well, because the generation before like grew up in that like culture of like non-tolerance and stuff like that. Okay, we're making massively sweeping judgments here. Like if I say like grew up in like the non-tolerance, I mean like that applies to some people. I think that's why it's...
My mum and dad are not racist. My mum and dad are not bigots. Like I don't mean it like that, but like my mum and dad have beliefs that I don't. Yeah. And like I'm sure yours do. Like my mum and dad grew up like very religious, Christian, some sort of stuff like doesn't gel with me. Like I don't need that. I consider myself like I won't get into that. But like you're not your parents. You have shades of your parents. You are nature, nurture, and environment. And like something someone says can stick with you. Like you only get words you know because of your environment, that sort of stuff. So like with the world getting so much smaller because of technology, like it'll be interesting and also worrying to be like those kids like where like bring us back to a lighthearted sort of thing. On Fleek. The fuck has On Fleek come from? I only know of it because of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Parents probably said that about like 60s people probably said that about the word dude when like 70s and 80s people started saying it.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. Like we're so influenced by like pop culture as well. Like we wouldn't like to admit it. This generation, I feel, is like 100% pop culture. Keeping up with the Kardashians, all these fucking reality TV shows, all that sort of stuff. I don't know how anything else plays into it like that, and I don't really know where to go with that statement. Like, I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel old. Like looking at the new generation, I'm like, you guys are gonna fuck this up.
You're going to fuck it
You're
up.
going to fuck it up.
I don't
we
trust you.
fixed everything.
And I don't trust you to keep it that way.
No.
No.
Exactly.
So there we go. We're the best.
We're 24.
Everyone else
we
isn't.
fixed the world. And kids are
So
going
there
to
we
fuck
go.
it up.
To answer your question, Michael, we're the best. Everyone else sucks.
Suck a dick.
Oh, there we go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. We've
Thanks
actually
all.
gone on quite long, I think, here.
Remember, keep your topics coming to us. Topics at 2D Show. And tweeting us at 2D Show. Topics at 2dshow.com.
Is our email address.
And tweet us at 2D Show.
Yeah.
I got this right like 5 times in a row, and now I'm fucking stumbling.
Yep.
Use the hashtag chew it out.
If you're feeling brave and you've got a spare, I'd allow an hour because you're gonna need to watch
Half-hour
it
grievance.
and then you're gonna need to like reflect on what you've just done.
like a Frisky
We've
Friday.
launched the Frisky Friday, where we read Harry Potter fan fiction to each other. Bad Harry
That
Potter
sounds
fan fiction.
really. We read it to each other. Like, you're right, yeah.
That is exactly what we
like, I never realised how fucking seedy that is.
And CD is definitely a word you'll become accustomed to. I'll leave it at that.
Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, we'll be coming out next Monday. We'll see you guys next Monday. Stay sassy, internet.
That's not going to happen. That is not. You're not going to make sassy happen. Stop trying to make sassy happen. It's not going to happen. Turn the camera off.